Hey guys, I'm just seeing if everything's working. We start at 2 and we're going to be painting this little character, this little giraffe. We're going to see if Facebook's working or not. Just stay tuned for just a minute. Trying to get all my ducks in a row here. Maybe we should paint a duck. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Miss Amy Bellis. So I guess Facebook is working. This one's for Alec. Or Caitlin. I don't remember which one actually said they wanted a giraffe. But this was a special request. Special request was for a giraffe. So that's what we are doing today. I am so happy that you all are here because it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So if you're here doing art with me, thank you so much because it's beautiful here. Maybe not where you are, but I want to be outside. However, that pollen is killing me. So, yeah, I hope that you all are staying allergy free out there for sure. I'm just waiting for people to come in. I know some people are a little bit late. Some people also, of course, might come in late, and that's fine. So, in order to do this class, all you're going to need is some paper. I'm using watercolor paper, but you don't have to. You can use regular copy paper. And to save paper, I've actually cut my paper in half. So it was this size, and I cut it in half. And I've even divided it up into even smaller halves for our practice. And this is what we did yesterday. I hope y'all enjoyed that. We're going to do girls on Monday. We're going to do girl dresses on Monday. And then I think we're going to do maybe pigs and fishes and doodles. I think I have some pirates coming up. I'm not sure. It is 2 o'clock, so I'm going to keep on talking here. I want to get to painting this giraffe. I do not want to waste our time making exercises. So but we do have to exercise in order to do this, because I want you all to get really good with your brush. Okay? So, this is what we're making today. I'm going to leave it, I don't know. I'm going to have to take it off the screen. There you go. We're going to do another exercise today. Today's exercises is going to be water and paint. So you're going to need a piece of paper, okay? And you're going to need a pencil. Yes, we've not used a pencil yet for, and I do have this on Facebook and Instagram, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Today we might need a small brush, but if you haven't, that's okay. You don't necessarily have to have a small brush, but just a regular brush will do just fine. Hello, Miss Penny Brown. Hello, Kingly. Hello, Angel. Hello, Vanessa. All right, and of course, Gavin, Summer, and Evelyn. Maybe Charlie. I doubt Charlie's watching, but that's okay. I wanted to tell you all, so have you all been outside with some chalk yet? I saw my cousin did the best little chalk thing with her kids today. So, well, actually it was my aunt, but it's my cousin's children. And they took the thing and they actually divided up the sidewalk into like areas and triangles and stuff with tape, and then they took the chalk and then they colored it in, kind of like what we're gonna do. All right, so for our big idea here for our exercises, we're first going to start doing it with circles. So I want you to write really lightly with our pencil, okay? Remember I said we were going to try not to erase. Hi, Claire. Come on. Get out your pencil. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to draw several circles. They don't have to be perfect, but I want them very different in sizes. And I don't want too many because, like I said, I don't want to do this all day. All right. So, oh, Carla is painting today. All right. Okay, so we have taken our pencil and we've drawn a couple circles, all right? And now, oh, here's the other thing. You're going to need some clean water, okay? And I hope Facebook is working, guys. If Facebook is acting weird, please let me know. Some of you have my texting, so you could text me, and then some people, well, just say thumbs down or something if it's not working well. But, okay, so our big thing now, we're going to take our paintbrush in our water. And don't forget, I have my paper towel here right next to me. That's important. I'm taking my water and I'm painting with water first. Okay? Yeah, did you hear that? I'm painting with water first. So I put my paintbrush in the water and I am going to paint this big one. You can't tell what you're doing because it's water. Now, I wonder sometimes, I don't know if y'all can see that. Maybe not, but what if I did this? No, that's even worse, isn't it? Sometimes there's a glare and you can see where I painted water. Y'all see that little silky, that area? All right. So I've just painted my big one and I've got a lot of water on here. Now, remember I said we should have activated. I didn't activate them. Take some time to activate your watercolors. Now remember that was if you put it in water and then you put it in your color. You don't have to do every single one of them right now. You could just do whatever color you're going to do next. I'm going to go with blue. So I'm coming in here. Have you noticed I really like blue? So I'm putting a whole lot of blue paint on my paintbrush and watch this. You see how it's moving? And I am going to come around here and I'm just putting dots of this all the way around here. And I am letting it do the soaking in. Now some of you all might be on different, and you see now I'm lifting up my paper real gently. And I'm just making it do that. Now, I don't like that little spot there, so I'm going to put a little bit there. I'm going to put more paint in one area. Do we see that? Okay, I'm going to do it again. Are we ready to try it again? Okay, so I'm going to put my paintbrush in the water. I'm going to go do this little one right here. You want your paintbrush as clean as possible. Mine still had a little blue tint, but that's all right. It might be soaking into your paper really, really fast. And that's okay. I'd rather you practice. Oh, that's pretty. I'd rather you just practice staying into the circle if you're having trouble with it not working. Now, with that being said, how about I test this theory with you guys? Because I bet some of you are just on copy paper. Hello, Lindsay Miller and family. Okay, so we're doing circles as our warm-up today. And here's what my idea was. So if you had a circle and it's on copy paper, you put water, a lot of water, in this circle. And now I come here and I put a dot. Oh, it worked. So all of y'all should be seeing what I'm seeing. Oh, isn't that fantastic? Isn't that neat? Okay, so I've got that and I'm going to lift it up and watch it. The key here, the whole point of this is that I want to keep it inside the circle. Okay? And look, it warps, and that's okay. That's fine. That's the whole beauty of actual watercolor. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to this small one. I think I'm going to do orange to this one. And I'm going to dot it just like that. There we go. Hello, Miss Shannon. We are making, I don't know, you want to call them planets? Let's call them planets, people. What do you think? I want us to save these because we might be able to use them for another project and build on top of it. Now, do you see how, and each one of these, do you see how this one has a puddle really, like on this side, there's a whole lot of paint, and that's like on top of it, it's not much. Okay. Do you see how this side is doing the purple really big on this side, and it's really light on this side? That's what we're going for. I want you to pay attention to how the water gathers in one place. Is it gravity? But it's also making this really nice sphere. It's a ball. It's a planet. It's doing our shading for us. And that's what I want us to learn here. Okay? And we're going to use this in our giraffe. So that's why I'm working on this. Okay? So, especially these little tiny ones. Notice these little tiny ones come in. And you're watching how it does. You want to keep it inside the lines. Which, you know, if anybody knows me, I believe in painting outside the lines, but for this purpose, I want you to paint inside the lines. That one's a little outside the lines. All right. That is our practice. All right. How are we doing? Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to sit here for a minute and tell you what you need for the next section. So it's really wet. So before we start moving it around and stuff, know that we got to be really, really careful with it. And we got to move it to the side without all of this wonkiness going everywhere. All right, so I'm picking it up. You see, even me picking it up, it's moving it. That's all right. That's all right. Did y'all see how that moved? I'm moving it. Oh, but isn't that cool? Okay. Sorry. Moving it to the side. Moving it to the side. What side am I moving it to? Okay. Now, you need to get your paper that you're going to paint your giraffe on. I'm going to continue to do it on a half sheet because I am saving my paper, especially since I'm painting on this watercolor paper, which is nice and thick, okay? Now, we're all going to draw this. Who's excited about drawing? All right. So, we've got our piece of paper and we're taking our pencil. Now, here's the thing. I want you to draw really, really lightly. Okay? Hi, Other Shannon. How are you doing? We are drawing a giraffe, so get your paper out. Oh, well, I'm getting a request. Hold 1 second. Let's see if I can. Did you know that I think you can swipe left or right on the comments and it will hide it from view. I want you to also see, I do have an eraser. I have an eraser on my brush here, and I also have an eraser over here. This is called a kneaded eraser. Does anybody see what a kneaded eraser is? Kind of like silly putty, and it's kind of gooey and it breaks up, but it is fantastic. You can buy this at the art supply store. All right, I really love it when it comes down to dealing with charcoal and stuff. Okay, are we ready? We're going to divide. We're going to do our tic-tac-toe board. I'm going to draw harder than you. All right? The reason is I want you to make sure that you can see this. Tic-tac-toe. All right. So we've got our tic-tac-toe board. And now I want you to pay attention. So I'm going to put this right on top so you can see. Look at where we're going to start right here with this nose. Okay? So where's this nose in conjunction with the tic-tac-toe? It's about on this line right here, the bottom line in the middle. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, does everyone know how to make a heart? Look. 2 circles. Well, it's half circles. Almost like a C. Okay? So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to go. But I'm not joining it. Do you see that? I did not join my 2 halves of my heart. Now I'm going to make nostrils. Everybody with me? I know, I might be going too fast. I'll slow down. Just 2 circles in the middle. They're kind of ovals, right? They're ellipses and ovals. Right. Next, we're going to make this bottom half. You see this part right here? So, we're going to come here and we're going to make another circle, half circle. We're going to join it just like that. Everybody with me? Give me a thumbs up if you are. I know, it's hard to actually make comments when you're actually drawing. I know, it's a bad habit for me. Now, let's look at this face. This face is kind of wide. Okay, it's wider than our nose. You see that? Hello, Miss Lisa. So what we're going to do here is we are going to actually do this. What shape does this kind of remind you of? I'm going to say it's a triangle, okay? So we're going to make the beginnings of a triangle, but we're not going to put the top on it. So I'm coming here and I'm going to make this go right like that. All right. Now I'm going to make this line right here. Okay. Now, this time I'm actually going to start up here. And I'm going to make this a little bit lighter so you all just like that. Okay? Everybody with me? Now, remember yesterday we were talking about pants and how I said if we did pants, it was a rectangle with a V cut out of it. We're going to do the same thing, but we're doing it opposite. What does opposite mean? Not the same. So I'm putting a dot in the middle here of my thing. All right? Hello, Courtney. And what I'm doing is I'm going to bring down this top part. And on this top half right here, because giraffes have this little, I don't know, what do you call it? Fuzzy little thing right here on the top. I did almost like grass stuff. Okay. And now let's do the ears. We got to do it. Now, my paper is too narrow for a whole bunch of ears. So you just know that you can make them as big or as small as you want. But the bigger the ears are, the more giraffe-like it looks. So right above these 2 points of my triangle right here is where the ears come out. So they go along that line really nice. So I'm coming over here. And I did that. Everybody with me? Yeah? And what do giraffes need the most? Well, there's several things that our giraffe needs, right? But I think it needs a neck. Right now, he's just a floating head. Let's make a neck. So I want us to come right here. And right down here. And make our neck. Now, this looks good. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Now, this is the only time I'm going to say you can erase. You do not have to erase everything and make it perfect. And I know some of you all are going to be slower at erasing than others. That's okay. And honestly, you don't even have to, but I know that this gets kind of confusing to look at. So I'm going to erase some of my guidelines. My tic-tac-toe board is what I'm going to erase. And that hopefully will help you all see what you've done a little bit better, or what I've done better. Now, here's the other thing about erasing. If you're having trouble getting rid of all your lines, then you should have done it a whole lot less hard. Okay? That's why you have a light touch when you draw. A light touch. And I'm also going to delete. It's like we're on the computer here. We're not on the computer, but I'm erasing the line between the ear and the head. That looks good. All right. Now, I want you to know that in an actual art class with me, most of the time, if I have to give you pencils, they don't have erasers on them. So, feel lucky. Okay, I think we need eyeballs. What do you think? Let's do some eyes. All right, so our eyes are really close to this triangle part. Okay, everybody with me? We're going to do just football eclipses. It's almost the same shape as we did down here for the nostril. And you want it as almost, let's say, a finger. And if you're a little girl and you have little skinny fingers, maybe you do 2 fingers. How's that? So I've got a little bit of finger right here, a pinky finger for me, between this side and where I'm actually going to put the lights or the eyeballs. Okay, now, what else does a giraffe have? Anybody screaming out spots? Giraffes have spots. They also have mouths. We don't have a mouth really, right? So let's do our mouth first. I'm just going to do a line right there underneath that nose. Okay. That's looking good. All right, now let's talk about spots and things. First off, we're going to do spots down here on the neck, all right? I'm going to wait for y'all to catch up and that kind of thing. It's not that important that you stay with me as long as you are listening and you can do it. You know, one of the things I have to do this weekend is to figure out how to make paint, how to make watercolor paint with household stuff. Has anybody ever made watercolor paint before? If you have, I would love to hear about it. You can chime in, show me what you've done. Give me a recipe, I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to first make some spots on the neck here. The thing about these spots is that they're kind of, I'm going to show you this. They're oval and almost rectangle-y, and they have, some of them are fat, some of them are skinny, some of them are really long, some of them are short. I'll say this about the face. Most of the time when you look at a giraffe, there's not a lot of spots on the face. It's mostly on the neck. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to come over here, and a thing about being on the actual round neck, you don't normally see the whole spot because it goes around the neck. So you actually only see half of the neck. Like, for example, this bottle. You don't see all of this label, do you? It's cut off because it's round. But if you rotated it, you might see all of it. But it's only on the side over here, okay? So, what I mean by that is we're going to only put a few. We're going to make a spot there. And maybe a spot here. And then I'm going to do one in the middle. And that's where I'm going to, that's my dots for that area at the moment. We might add another spot later, but I'm just going to do that spot for the moment. How we doing? We all right? Now, I'm going to show this face. Do you see how most giraffes have a brown spot right here for the bridge of the nose area? So that's our next thing. Horses have this, cows have this, foxes have this, all kinds of places have this, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to draw that. And honestly, it's just between the eyes. And you see, I branch it out a little bit. And I even make it go around the eyes like that. That looks great. And guys, over here on Facebook, I just got a low battery. That's fantastic. Don't you love that? Let's see if that works. You still there, Facebook? I hope you are. I do have you charging now, plugged in. I thought you were plugged in. Everybody with me? I need to hear a yes. Give me a sign. Because we're about to start drawing or painting. Tell me if you're with me. Ah, that's a good one. That's a person. Okay, good. All right. Yay. Thank you for talking. That's good. Okay. So, we're going to start painting next. Now, we're going to take our water. Great. Yes, 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 yes. That's fantastic. Yay! Can y'all see everything okay? All right, here we go. So, I've got my water, and I've got my watercolors right next to me, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to get, I will tell you this. I know that some of you don't have a whole lot of watercolors, and I have, like, this fancy palette, right? But I want to show you, so I'm putting that down right here. Everybody can see that, I hope. And I'm going to show you this. This doesn't have a lot of color in it. It's got a dark brown. It's got a light brown, it's got a goldy color, and it's got some gray. And how do you make gray? It's brown and white, right? But remember, the white is the paper. So actually it's black and a lot of water that makes this black color and this gray color up here for the ears. All right. Another thing that I taught you about this is that, remember, watercolor is nothing but layers. Layer and layer and layer. So the first time we do it, just know. So I am going to probably use this goldy color, maybe one of these browns, and probably one of these browns. That's all I'm going to use. Okay? Let's say you don't have brown. Then use some yellow and black together, maybe. That might work. It doesn't matter as long as you're trying, right? We're not making a perfect animal here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I have some water on my brush, and I'm going to come in here. Let's see, can y'all see if I do it that way? I'm going to come in here to my goldy color. See that? And I'm going to paint the top part, the forehead part of my animal, all the way down to my nose. Now, do y'all see how fast I'm working? You don't have to be fast. But the point, watercolor is very fast because it dries so fast. So anywhere I think I'm going to have brown, I'm doing this goldy color right now. So I'm even doing my spots that way. Now, remember I said we don't have any spots on the face yet. So that's fine. I am, though, going to come back. I'm coming back to this nose part. All right? So on the nose part, I'm actually going to make more of a diamond shape right here. Nice. Doesn't that look like a giraffe? Okay. So now let's talk about the other half of it. Actually, I'm going to come up here, make this a little darker. So I just had some more, and I just put some more up there at the top. Not much. Okay? I'm wiping off my brush on my paper towel, putting it back in the water. We do that, remember, to save our water from getting really, really dirty, because we want clean water so we can make our colors just as bright as can be. Now, one of the things that I like to do here is, remember, we're working on layers. So we've worked on the yellow parts and the brown parts. Now we're going to work on a different part so this has a chance to dry. Okay? I'm going to work on the ears. So I'm going to go into some gray. Now, I have gray on my palette, but if you don't, just go into some, actually here, I know y'all probably don't even have gray. I'm going into the black right now. I've got a lot of water on my brush. If I'm scared to do this, I'm going to come over here and do it a little bit on my paper towel to test it. That's worked really well for me, so I was happy with that. I'm going to do a little stroke there for the eyes, and I'm going to work on the actual ear. So the inside of this ear is really dark. You know what? I'm going to paint the whole ear black. We're going to come back into it once it's dry to make the inside. That's looking good. I still have some black on my brush. So what I'm going to do is come up here, and I'm putting it up here in that stubby part. You can hardly tell that I did anything. That's okay. It's just layers. The nose and the mouth need some black parts. So I'm going to come up here and get some black. And I'm going to put that right in those dots. How we doing? Everybody with me? Looking good. Looking really good. We need to do some shading for her face. Is it a her or he? I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to take my black again. I'm going to test it. That was almost too much. So that was good that I tested it. Always test. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make a round spot around his eye. I guess mine's a he, because I keep saying he. I'm going to come down here, do that. I'm even going to draw that line all the way down. And I'm going to draw all the way down right here too. Now the reason I'm doing it right there underneath the neck is because there's a shadow underneath the neck. You see this? There's a shadow underneath the neck. So that's what I'm working on. All right, I will say that if you've just joined me, the replay will be on Facebook, and I actually am uploading all of this to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Megan Bailey Gill, FYI. So I'm going back to my gold color, and I'm going to go back into some of my gold stuff that I've got going on here. So this time, I'm going to come back up here to this neck eyeball and add some more. And if it runs with that black, good. Very, very good. You see, I'm just adding more layers to it. That's all this is. I'm adding more layers. And if you notice, there are some places I'm not doing a whole lot of paint. One of the reasons I'm not doing a whole lot of paint is that I'm working with, this kind of goes back to this theory. That doesn't have a lot of paint on it, and it looks like it's a highlight. We're doing that on purpose with our colors that we've got going on here. So I'm going to do the sides. Looking good. I'm going to come back down here to my dots and my spots, and I'm not doing like the whole thing. Can everyone repeat? I am not painting the whole thing. All right. Now, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think it's time for some brown. I know some of you have probably already done brown, but I'm going to do brown now. So I've got a darker brown color, and I'm going to do some of the same things. I'm going to come back up here to this eye and add it. And look, it's bleeding. It's bleeding just like this stuff was. And that's what we were going for. I sometimes want it to mix. I'm going to do that diamond shape again. I'm just repeating what I've already done. I'm going back over the sides. I'm going to add a whole lot of brown right here to the top part. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to add some to these spots. And I'm not adding a whole lot of brown to those spots yet. I think I am going to add brown. Remember, if you want to test it, you put it down on your paper towel. I think I'm going to add some down here underneath on this neck. Do you see how I actually went all the way down? Did you see that? I extended my brown dot. That's okay. I'm going to come back up here to this spot right here where his cheeks are. If you can call giraffes. Do they have cheeks? I don't know. I'm going to go back to my black. And I'm going to come here to these ears. And you see how I just made a little bit, I made that darker. Looking good. Yes, we are. Okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add a black dot to those eyeballs. coming back in here to my nostrils. This time on my mouth, I'm only doing the middle part. I'm not doing the sides, just the middle part. Now, let's look at these eyes. Anybody see those eyes? They have a black part on top of them, which is the eyelashes. They actually have lots of eyelashes. I started really researching it. So you come in here, and it's gonna bleed, and that's okay. But I'm only doing it on the top part, not the bottom part. I'm gonna come in here. And now I feel like that's too dark. So I'm actually going to get more water on my brush. Only water. I take it and put it in that spot. I get some and I put it over here on the paper towel. So I want to show everybody what I just did. I'm going to pull it up. I've put water on my brush. I'm coming over here, putting it in that section, scooping it up, and putting it back down on my paper towel. I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm just going to get regular and do that. Do you see how it almost erases? Kind of. I know on copy paper it probably isn't as great as that, but it's getting there, right? All right, let's add a little bit more. How are we doing on time? Not too bad. I'm going to add some more in this middle part right here. I'm going to add a little bit more on the sides of my knobs, whatever you want to call these things, on the top there. Now, I have very big, like it looks like a triangle here, so I'm actually putting water on my brush, coming over here, and going right next to where the line is. And you see how it blurred it? That's what we're going for. I'm glad you're having a good time, Aunt Carla. Okay, I'm coming in here and I'm adding a little bit more. Now, here's the thing. Some of you are probably going, oh, this looks absolutely awful. Some of you are going, this looks fantastic. I can't believe I'm doing it. The key is that you're trying. You're trying something new. That's fantastic. Let's add some brown spots over here to these spots. I told you I was going to work on that, right? And I never did. So, here we go. I'm going to go back to my goldy color. I'm going to do a puddle here and a puddle there. A puddle here and a puddle there. Not bad. Okay. That's looking good. How's everybody else doing? Let's talk. How are we doing? Do we see a giraffe yet? Are you working your layers? Working one section, one color, then going to a different color so it can actually rest and dry a little bit? I'm going to show the final one just a little bit. If you notice, I have some pen work here, but you can't do this part with the pen until it's completely dry. Okay? But who's noticing that I have a background here? Yeah? So this is a good time to let this dry. Let your giraffe dry a little bit and let's work on the background. So the background is going to be this process that we worked at the beginning of the class. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our water. And this is key. You have to be careful. You don't want the water to touch the giraffe. I repeat, you don't want the water to touch the giraffe. So I'm coming in here and I'm going to do, you see, I'm next to it, but I'm not touching it. And I'm painting with water. I'm painting with water. I'm going to paint this whole section with water, but I'm not touching my giraffe. I'm leaving some white space. I don't want my water touching my giraffe. I got a lot of water on it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get, I don't know, what color do you want? I'm going to go with teal because, well, I have teal. I want teal. You pick whatever color you want. Purple would be a good color. You want to know why purple would be a good color? Because it's a complementary color. Do you see that I'm starting to add teal to my water, and I'm just doing dots? And you see it's moving, and that's what we want. I'm doing tons and tons of little dots. And do you see how it's bleeding? It also, because I've gotten so much water on my paper, it's bowing, so the water is and the paint are puddling up here on the edges, which is what made these on this one, the edges. But I kind of like those, so I'm keeping them. Everybody on Facebook still with me? Looks rough. We're about finished. And I want you to know that the way I did my writing and my scribbles, I'll show you that on the other one that's dry. But you can't do that until ... See, right now, I'm letting my giraffe dry so I can hopefully get it, but it may not actually work for this. Do you see now? Look what I just did. I went straight to the paint and went to the paper. Do you see how it's darker? And do you see how I have a little bit more control over it, but it doesn't give this neat effect of this different stuff. I would suggest you do that with the middle of these little nobules. Nobules, is that an actual word? I don't know. You can thank my mother for my word choices. FYI, I can still hardly spell giraffe. I remember spelling giraffe a million times. A million times. So, can anybody spell giraffe? My kids on the call. Alright, I'm feeling good about this. This is working really well. Are we with me? Maybe. Maybe not. It's okay. I'm going to now test my giraffe to see if he's actually dry or not. So I'm actually going to take my finger. That's still wet. You see, I just made that spot. Made that spot. So we're still pretty wet. Is this wet? Yep. So we're still pretty wet. So with that being said, I'm going to pause. Not do anything with this. Okay? If you have, wait a minute, before I do that, I'm going to tell you. If you have a small brush too, I want to show you what I did with the small brush. I went into the black with my small brush, and that's when I started working on those eyelashes. But I only did it with the small brush. And I came in and I added just a few little details like that. I came in, added only a little bit like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to move that up. I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you what I do. So remember, I like the Uniball Signo 207 Bold is my favorite pen. And what I do, you have to make it completely dry before you do this. I sketch. I do not, watch what I do not do. I do not sit here and do one big line like this. I don't do that. I do little short sketchy marks. Do you know why I do this? Because one, it makes it more arty. Two, you can't mess up this way. It looks like a giant mess up, right? And it adds texture to it. And it's just so much easier to deal with when you're already a little sketchy. And that's how. And another thing that I like to do is to do these curly cues. Y'all see these curly cues? And I think that that works well too. I hope Facebook you're getting this. Part of me says I feel like you're frozen, but all right, we are at 10 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? So, if you're still here and you're still with me, now is your time. I am watching for questions and plan on answering them. I want you to know, so I'm waiting for this to dry, that's why I'm not doing anything to it. If you have I would love to see what you've done. So I would love for you to send it to me. You can text it to me, or you can direct message me, or you can even just tag me in the Instagram post or story if you want. Whichever one you want to do. I wanted to let you know that I am going to be painting this cow on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week for $25. It's a private Zoom class that we can actually talk in. We take our time with. It's 3 days, so we really get into this. You need to look at my stories for that. All of my comments have stopped, so I guess everybody's doing fantastic and painting. Thanks, Aunt Carla. But I got some of my artist skills from you. I think it runs in our blood. Okay, so the other thing is I wanted to tell you, so next week I'll be here at the same time, and we are going to do little girl dresses on Monday. Tuesday we are going to do a pig. Wednesday I think we're going to do a fish, and we're going to do something with a white crayon. So you'll need a white crayon for Wednesday. Thursday, I think we're going to do doodle flowers. And Friday, I'm thinking about pirates. What do y'all think about pirates? You like pirate idea? Pigs? Fishes? I'm only doing the girls' dresses because I didn't get to that yesterday, so I wanted to like that. Do you see how this is starting to puddle? Oh, doesn't that I love that. Talk to me. I'm like Bob Ross, I know. I'm crazy. I would love to see your pictures, and I hope you go outside and enjoy the outside and go do some chalk art. Post them. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to stand here and, if you have any questions, I will be right here if you have some. I do take special requests, so if you have something that you're really wanting to do, because this is a special request. Alec Billis actually wanted to do a giraffe, so that's what we did today. And then I have a few other people who said they wanted to do a fish, a ballerina. Somebody wanted to do, maybe we do some sports stuff. I am so glad an ocean. We can do an ocean. Ocean would be a good... Ocean and sunset would be good for an exercise, and then we use it for the next day. That's a very good idea, Shannon. So maybe we'll work on that. That's a very good blending tool. So Saturday and Sunday, you are free. Make something. Show me. Ooh, mermaids. Mermaids is a good idea. I like mermaids. I did watch Bob Ross growing up all the time, actually. I would go to my grandmother's house and we would watch Bob Ross. I even still have a paintbrush that is Bob Ross. I thought I had it. I almost had it. I was going to show it to you. It's one of my favorite paintbrushes. So that means I was like 9, maybe 10 when I got it. Okay. Any other questions? Because I'm about to wrap this up and Instagram's about to kick me off. Yes, I will do some pigs. Pigs are fun. All right. I would love to see your final product. Post it, tag me, Megan Bailey Gill Art, or Megan Bailey Gill on Instagram. And I look forward to hearing from you. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see them. Happy giraffe painting. Go enjoy the outside, people. Bye.